Hi everyone, this is Canan Rosén from Riot Grrrl Sessions, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Yeah!
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I am bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today it is an honor and privilege to have Canan Rosén, vocals, guitar, and bassist, and founder of Riot Grrrl Sessions. They have a new debuted album called the Riot Grrrl Sessions is out now in the U.S. via GRRRL Music, and we're going to be talking to her about this because this is kind of a cool deal because there's like 12 or 13 female musicians who came together to put all this together. So, Canan, how you doing?
Hi, John. I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on the show. I'm sitting outside in Sweden. It's like 11 o'clock in the evening, and it's almost 30 degrees. I think that has never happened in like 260 years or something here. So
Wow.
It's kind of crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
But it's great.
I would like to be in Sweden right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long had you been thinking of putting together an album featuring some of the coolest female rock punk musicians? How long have you been sitting on this to say, I want to try and get this together?
Yeah, I'm going to try to explain everything. It was like maybe 2 years ago when I was kind of in between bands. And I really wanted to start a Riot Grrrl band and started to ask around, with people that I wanted to play with. And everyone was busy. Like they had their own bands, so they were already touring a lot, or maybe, in the middle of some other career or getting kids and everything. So I was like, I need to solve this problem. So And then I figured out, like, if we made something together, but in a very limited amount of time, people would maybe agree to get on board. So that's when I came up with the Riot Grrrl Sessions thing. Like, we got together for only one weekend to write and record an album. And then people said yes, because they could spare one weekend, right?
Sure.
So, yeah, and then I wanted to do it more than like the normal band with 4 or 5 people. So we were 12 musicians in the project. So that was cool.
The thing that blows my mind is when I was reading on all this and doing my research and all this is like it took you guys 1 weekend to do this. That's insane.
Yeah. That's insane. Yeah, I know. It is insane. In one way it's insane because it was so intense and, we had to get everything together. Everyone was working so hard. But, in another way, we are 12 professional musicians. So, of course, we pulled it off, right? But, of course, it took a lot of planning and everyone was like super dedicated and the vibe was so crazy. Everyone was working so hard. So, but it's truly amazing how it turned out with 13 so great songs. And
once it started coming together, were you surprised you had that many female musicians that wanted to work on this album as one with you?
No, I wasn't really surprised. There's a lot of women in rock and punk music nowadays, and everyone was excited when I talked about this project. So it wasn't like hard or surprisingly hard. And I think that's one of the main things about this project too is to show everyone that still uses this argument like, oh, there are no women who does this or does that, because that's not a valid argument. It's 2018 now, and I mean, we can do everything, like everyone can.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a lot of great female musicians out there, and whoever's saying it's a pure idiot.
I mean, or just lazy, or maybe they don't know that everything has changed, and therefore, so here's a very good example to show them that things have changed, and it's not just in our project. It's not just only the musicians that that are women. It's like everyone in the project, in every part, like the record label, the graphic designer, the lawyer, everyone are women, transgender persons, or non-binary. So it's it's pretty amazing how it turned out. Like, and it wasn't even hard to find like awesome people to work with. Everyone was excited, and it didn't took me long to find everyone who wanted to get involved.
Now,
so
cool. Are you wanting to work with the same group of women when you do this again, or are you wanting to try to mix it up a little bit with different ones, possibly?
I think the Riot Grrrl Session is. There are endless possibilities, working with this further on. This album is called The First Session for an obvious reason. And the musicians that are on this album, everyone are from Stockholm, Sweden, where we've recorded everything. But there are Riot Grrrls worldwide. So that would be really cool, like when we do the next sessions, like maybe we can do some international collaborations. Everything depends on how the word spreads with this first session. And, if more people find out about it and the word gets around, it's going to be easier to do cool things in the future.
All right, John, let me ask you this question. What's impressed you the most about making this debut album, the Riot Grrrl Sessions? What's caught your eye or impressed you the most about it, if anything, possibly?
I think it was the dedication and everyone's will to give it their all. And I was super impressed by that because, I've been in many bands and recorded many albums and, stuff like that. But it has never been like that. And also I think we kind of created this very safe space where it was allowed to have fun, So I think the vibe and, everything around the project has truly made it like stick out and be awesome in a way that no other bands has before.
When it was all said and done, how long did it actually take to record the album, possibly?
We were in the studio for 3 days, and we came there around 10, 11 in the morning and left around 9 in the evening. And there was activity all around the studio. I don't know, do you know the Swedish band ABBA? Legendary Swedish band, yeah?
Sure.
Björn from ABBA, he is the owner of the studio. So it's not a very punky small studio, it's with rats and mold.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very big and nice studio, and the studio boss, Lynn, she was like, we need to make this project happen in the studio. So there is a big recording room where some of the musicians were recording, and at the same time some other musicians were like rehearsing and finishing up songs in like the kitchen and lounge area. And there was also a small studio upstairs where we could have like additional vocals and guitar solos and stuff like that, and it was like activity all day long. So.
Who produced this album for you guys?
We did it together with the recording engineer Lynn, who is the studio boss also. It's awesome to work with, so super fast and so talented.
So working with them, did they let you just go your own way before they stepped in, or did they know what buttons to push to get the most out of you guys?
Yeah, kind of more like that. But we had such short amount of time. We did a schedule where each song had 2 hours in the big recording room, and we haven't rehearsed the songs or anything before. So when we sound checked and try to get some cool guitar sounds and everything, at the same time we rehearse the songs and then just record. And so almost all the songs are live recorded and just added some few vocals and guitars on top of it. So it's cool how it turned out so great in that short amount of time. But everyone helps out with finalizing the guitar sound and everything. It's like, and that's also the good part, I think, about punk music. Always turns out much greater if you don't. I don't know the English exact word, but you don't work with it too much. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
Any songs off this album that stand out more to you, possibly on it? Maybe. I know it's like picking your favorite car, your favorite child, or whatever. But is there any that stick out for you, possibly?
I think it was cool. The last song of the album, also the last song that we recorded, the end chorus, we gathered all musicians and everyone else that wanted to in the recording room, and then we sang the last chorus together, and that was pretty amazing and very powerful, empowering moment for all of us. It was like goosebumps all over the body. So that was pretty cool. So
on April 9th, you guys released a crowdfunding campaign, and you pretty much crushed your goal, receiving a total of 119% of it. Now, does that was so cool. Did that surprise you that happened? I mean, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty amazing. I think we had over 200 people backing our crowdfunding. I mean, over 200 people that were wanting this project to come alive, and that's pretty amazing. And also, people, some put in $1 or $2, and some put in more money. But everyone was and I think this is what Riot Grrrl and punk is all about. Do it. The DIY in punk culture, do it yourself, blah blah. But we're talking about this project that we wanted to be DIT, do it together, and I really like the idea that this project is crowdfunded, because this is a do it together project. So, but it was pretty cool, but also hard work. Oh my God, we worked so hard to make this happen. So I'm really really happy to get moments like this to talk about the project, and that people are excited with what we did, and I think the project deserves it also. The word should be spread.
Here's a question I like to ask to all the new punk rockers and things like that are developing new things. Do you like to stay, consistent with the old style of punk rock, or do you want to add a newer style with it, possibly?
I think when we made this project and this first sessions, we had no rules, because that would have been devastating for our creative process if we put up rules. So, and I think that's also why all of the songs on the album, it's rock, but it's different kinds of rock, and there's old elements mixed with new elements, and I think that's when music gets fun, when you get to be creative and don't create any unnecessary boundaries. So.
Now, I know this just came out over here in the U.S. a couple months ago, but are you writing now or planning on another album down the road with this same group, possibly?
We're talking about, at least thinking about how and when we're going to make another session. Right now, we are kind of working with the other parts of the project, because to us, Riot Grrrl isn't just about music; it's about all kinds of art. It's a way to express yourself, and you can do that through music or anything else. And right now we are working with the photographers' photos, so putting them out in different exhibitions, and also we documented everything. We had a film crew with 5 people running around the studio, so we're working on a documentary right now about the project and the process. So there's a lot of things cooking, and it doesn't necessarily have to be another session right now, but we're thinking about it and what the next step is going to be.
That was going to be my next question, working with the getting this documentary together while you guys are recording this. When can we possibly see that out? Maybe
hopefully this year, but you never know. Okay. You never know. But we're working on it, so it's going to be great, I think. And also it's great to be able to share more than the music, because I want to share how fun it was and the vibe, and also you can make music in so many different ways, and this is not a very common way. It's a very unique way to make music together. So I think it's fun and important to share, and we're writing her story.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right there when you said you can express you can express yourself in many different ways, like modeling and art and music. I mean, there's just an abundance of ways to do it, and I think that's cool what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we think it's cool too. now it's always like this when you release something and you get to hear what the crowd thinks about it, and you know, everyone is so appreciative of what we have done in this project. And of course there are always haters, but there are so few, so we don't even listen. But you know, everyone is like so supportive and empowering about what we have done, so we want this to live on and, you know, grow and become something much bigger.
Yeah, I absolutely love when people do things that are not set in stone, if that makes sense. You know, like they don't go the status quo way. They do their own thing. That's what I like in new stuff.
Yeah, it's a cool way to work. Like, just get creative and see where it goes.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to maybe, you know, help keep your mind fresh and open to not let the music get stale? And especially on this album, did you do anything differently to help you keep your mind open and fresh with this?
I think what we did when we tried to put the songs together in the studio was like not complicate anything if it wasn't necessary. And I think that's also a key ingredient to punk music. Like, keep it simple and just like face forward and you know, just move on. Not like sometimes when you're in the studio and like, oh, maybe I can play this chord instead, or maybe if you put the you know, tune the snare drum differently. We had no time for that shit, you know, so we just kept rocking. Like, next song is coming up in 10 minutes. You have to nail the next recording. Like, okay, let's do it. So I think just keep it simple and keep it fun. Like, I think that's a very good ideas for like stay on track and move forward when you make music.
Would you guys like to take this out on the road at some point if the opportunity presents itself, possibly, or do you just want to do the albums only?
I think that's also like one part of the project. Like, we have no rules, we have no. We'll see where the future takes us, but I mean, it will be so cool to make like a huge show with this project. You know, not like gather some punks in a basement. And I mean, I love basement gigs, not, but you know, with this we could make like. Yeah, we could do something really cool with it. So that would be awesome. But it takes a lot of time and planning and effort, and also like the right opportunity must come first. We'll see.
Do you like the digital era of recording albums that we're in right now? And, you know, plus you've got social media that's going to help you guys out tremendously with this, I think. Do you like this to where you can reach out to more fans to let girls and guys know about the Riot Grrrl Sessions, and plus getting the music out quicker with the digital era? Do you like this, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, the internet era, it has created so many possibilities to musicians or creators all around the world. And for me, like we did this project for our own sake because we liked it and thought it was a cool idea. But, you know, the bonus idea where other people can be a part of it, and also like I love to have an easy way to talking to fans or other people, and like I said before, since this is a very collaborative project, it's like I met people through the internet and now it's a part of the project because they wanted to do something under the Riot Grrrl Sessions logo, or what to say. So I think it's amazing.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you, Jonna, that said, that's what I want to do right there?
I was watching, when I was maybe 10, 11, I was watching a TV show called Jam and the Holograms.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
It's like a cartoon TV series with some girls starting a band because they want to raise money for an orphanage. Yep. And then they are in a Battle of the Bands contest with another band called the Misfits, which are also only females in the band. Yep. And that was like the first time I encountered women in rock music, even though they were cartoons. And I was like, if they are in the cartoons, they must be also in reality. So then I started to search for rock bands with women in them. And that's where it all started for me.
I remember that cartoon when I was a kid because I remember watching that show, and then Transformers, of course, and then that came on after it. And Yeah.
That's when I switched off the telly and went to practice guitar instead.
So yeah, I remember that show. It wasn't for folks who've not got to see it. It's a pretty good show. It's really good actually.
I mean, I think role models and to find inspiration is very, very important. Like first time I saw women rock on stage, I was like, if they can do it, so can I. So, and that's a bonus for us in this project too. If we can inspire people, to pick up a guitar or a drumstick or whatever, just scream, make noise. It's amazing.
For the young ladies and the young gentlemen out there who listen to this album and they get inspired by this, what do you hope that they take away from it when they listen to this?
That's a very hard question. A lot, but I really hope that they can, feel empowered and get some strength and believe in themselves, whatever it is that they want to do. Everyone doesn't have to become a rock star, but you can be a rock star in whatever you do. It doesn't have to be punk music. So I think just to feel empowered and also be happy. I hope this vibe we had when we recorded everything, I hope it comes through the music and, live on.
Folks, Riot Grrrl Sessions is out now on GMR Music, and get out and pick this album up. Really, really great music from Jonna and her colleagues on this. Really good stuff. How could folks stay in touch with you guys, buy this album that's out right now, and merchandise, things like that? How can they do that?
You can follow us through social media. You'll find everything there. We post links and, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Of course I can, John. Hi, everyone. This is Canan Rosén from Riot Grrrl Sessions, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Yeah!
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Thank you so much, Jonna.
Take